It's simple to see, it's at Magic TV, so the world can believe it's at Magic TV.
We say Jim Crow, we say hell no. 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 They say Jim Crow, we say hell no.
Okay, well, I think that first of all, the police didn't handle it at all well when they first arrived on the scene. They saw, oh, black kid in the suburbs, clearly that was justified that he was shot, which is ridiculous. But I think now they have to take it slow, and there's only so much time you have after you arrest somebody before you have to charge them. So I think what they're doing now is getting all their ducks in a row, because if they arrest George Zimmerman and he gets away, I mean, that's just, there's no coming back from that. There's going to be racial tension, I think, worse than we've ever seen, because it's 2012. We should be done with this. We should be equals by now. We should have run out of people to oppress, but we haven't, which is sad. So I think that they're waiting to make sure that they have everything together so they don't make any more mistakes.
I'm outraged by the whole situation. When I was about 8 years old, my mother took me out on Martin Luther King marches, and I cannot believe I am still having to march like this today because of injustice. This brought me out. I literally haven't been out since my mother had me out marching with Martin Luther King and that whole thing in the 60s.
Priority for justice would have prevented injustice, and priority over racism. And we need the government on our side as people, as minorities. Priority for our young black men, especially. This whole incident touches me, especially because my brother is a young black man. He's 14, and it could have been him. So, you know, he walks home, he goes to 7-Eleven. So to know that he can't even walk down the street without, you know, there being a target on his back, it just unsettles me. And it's just so sad to hear that Trayvon had to be a victim to this. But, you know, I'm just praying that justice is served and Zimmerman is put away, because it's not fair. It's not fair to all black people, black young men, and minorities in general.
I thought we had made progress. This reminds me of Rodney King all over again. We're always the problem when we get killed. It's always our fault. We should have did this, we should have did that. He attacked somebody. I'm just tired of us, because you know what? That's not the last person that's going to die. And unfortunately, you know, we have not made the progress that we thought we made. We got bigger cars and bigger houses and bigger payrolls, but we're still back in the 50s where we were.
What brought you out today here at City Hall in LA?
Well, having a son myself, I'm out here to support all the young men who go through a tough time on a daily basis. And I just think that this is a very unjust thing that has happened. The guy should have at least by now been arrested and investigated, the whole thing. I mean, it's just terrible, and I'm just so happy to see all these people out here to support the fact that this is not going the way it should, and his parents should get the support and answers to this terrible, terrible thing.
My name is Manila Rice. I'm with KMB Kapataang Makabayan.
Okay, so what brought you out today?
Basically, we're here to support Trayvon Martin's family and to stand against this system of white supremacy, which allows for murders such as Trayvon Martin's, but not just specific to Trayvon Martin. It's not an isolated incident. This has been going on, you know, since this country was founded, and we've been here to protest the killings of Sean Bell, of Oscar Grant, Amadou Diallo. The list goes on, and so we're just here to stand against a system that allows this sort of thing to happen repeatedly.
And we always speaking about the police shooting us, but our kids, we got to get ourselves together and stop killing each other too first. That black on black crime and that black on brown crime, we are not each other's enemy. We have to get this together. a shout out to the baby's mother who her daughter got killed in Hidden Hills. I forgot the baby name. What's her name? Latrice. Don't forget about Latrice too.
So what brought you out here today, actually?
What brought me out here today? Because that could have been my son or my daughter. Or me. I wear hoodies.
Talk to me. What brought you out here today?
I came out here because I'm tired of the injustices going on with our young black men getting killed for no reason, and nothing being done about it. This is just a modern day Emmett Till. You know, Geraldo made a comment that maybe young black men shouldn't wear hoodies. You know, white kids wear hoodies to the beach. The Ku Klux Klan wear hoodies, but it's called freedom of speech. And when a black man wears a hoodie, it's called suspicious. I got a problem with that. That's why I'm out here. Trayvon Martin should not be dead. His parents should not be crying. And I'm hurt. I'm really hurting.
Did you hear any of the 911 tapes or any of the other evidence in the case? What did you think about the fact that George Zimmerman acted even after the police on 911 told him not to pursue him?
Yes, I did hear the tapes. I was disturbed. I was hot. The whole situation is totally wrong. They told him do not pursue him, and he did it anyway. He's an animal. He was on the prowl. He was coming after some black prey, and people are trying to say that this is not a race issue. Yes, it's ignorant, but if Trayvon Martin was not black, we wouldn't be out here today.
So what do you think that legislature should do in Florida? You think they should change the laws, or how do you think that something like this could be prevented?
Well, as far as the Stand Your Ground law, the makers of that law say that they don't even support Zimmerman in the first place, so that Stand Your Ground law doesn't even have anything to do with what Zimmerman did. It's about right and wrong. From what I understand, I've been reading and looking up different things online about Zimmerman and his parents, and one thing I came across was that his parents, one of them is in law enforcement and one is in the court system. So they're trying to protect him. They're trying to protect their kid. And if I was a parent and my child did something wrong, that's not my child anymore. You murdered somebody in cold blood, you are not my child. And I don't understand what kind of human being could sit up and take up for their child that do something wrong like that.
What brought me out here today was exercise my First Amendment right to assembly to protest against the lynching, which really what it was, a lynching in Trayvon Martin. Which is one out of many lynchings that we've seen out here in America, and particularly during this past month, there was a lynching that happened over in Pasadena. There was another lynching that happened in another part of Los Angeles, and we just see a lot of these police officers. In this case, a man who's neighborhood watch, who's not even a police officer, out of control and having open season on young black men, and people try to justify how this matter was conducted, but me being a former bodyguard and working in law enforcement, and now being a school teacher, I know that there's a variety of ways you can handle that without resorting to lethal and deadly force.
Do you think this was a racially motivated incident, or do you think it was just a gun-happy Zimmerman? Or both?
You know, you never know what's going on in someone's mind. I just think that it was not right for him to follow the guy. He wasn't doing anything, and to be carrying a weapon of sorts, and the kid just had Skittles and a drink to defend himself. I mean, it's just not right. I don't think it's a racial thing. I just think it's a terrible thing that we go through every day with people who have authority and take advantage of that.
Maybe racial motivated, gun happy for sure. Like the police told him, he was not supposed to apprehend that baby. By the time they got there, 5 to 3 minutes later, he was dead. And I do believe that baby did sock him in the face to get away because he was scared. He had nothing on his car that said he was head of neighborhood watch. He had no clothes that said he was head of neighborhood watch. If anybody would have walked up to you, you would have did the same thing. I would have did the same thing. I would have been scared. You know, I would have hit him and ran and got shot in the back. You know, and people are gun happy.
I think Zimmerman was gun happy. He went against the police's orders. The police orders to tell him to not follow Trayvon. And also, I think it is a racial thing, because if it was the other way around, if Zimmerman was a black man and Trayvon Martin was a white man, what would have happened? He would have been arrested. He would have been arrested that same night. He would have been locked up for life if that was the case, you know. And it's really sad. Like, I don't want to bring it to that, but that's what America is. Sadly, that's what America is.
What do you think could be done to prevent this type of situation from happening?
Well, first off, I think one thing that needs to happen is that anybody who becomes not police officer, but a peace officer, or in this case, whether a security guard or what this guy was, neighborhood watch, they need to be properly trained. This man was not properly trained to use a gun. He wasn't properly trained to subdue a suspect, and quite frankly, he's just a vigilante who's going out there getting quote-unquote justice. And they need to be properly trained. I don't see anything wrong with self-defense, but in this case, it was not self-defense. It was pure murder. You know, when you have someone who's running away from you, that's not self-defense. And even in the laws of self-defense in Florida, as here in California, you can only attack someone and go against them in terms of self-defense. It has to be within reasonable means. Like, for example, if you were to punch me, I can't pull out a gun and shoot you. It has to be within reasonable means in terms of me defending myself. And if that suspect runs away, I have to let him go. I can't run after him and take his life.
Well, first of all, the law must be repealed. It's an unjust law. It reminds me of something from Nazi Germany. It cannot stand. And number two, Zimmerman has to be arrested or at least investigated. This is outrageous to me.
I think they need to supervise and train the people that have these type of positions before they give them to them, especially people that use weapons and what have you. They really should know when and when not to use these things. I mean, I just think that the laws need to be changed as far as black young men are concerned. I mean, because that's why we're wearing these hoodies today. I mean, I do feel like because he had a hoodie on and he said that he looked suspicious, that was a problem for the guy. He totally racially profiled him there. But I just think that they just need to stop profiling our young black men and stop killing our young black men.
I don't know if it was just that he was afraid, but even if that was his basic fear, which is the human condition, you know, to be afraid, it came from a racist place. And I think that no one can forget that George Zimmerman is just as much a victim as Trayvon Martin, because in racism, nobody's a winner. It doesn't matter how much blood is spilt or for which side, nobody wins.